Hello everybody, I'm Heidi Pegler, the AOTOS Chair.
And I'm Janice Thompson, the AOTOS Conference Director.
And we thought we would tell you a little bit about the Eurovox journey today. It was in October 2016 that Paul Deegan first raised the idea of us putting on Eurovox. At the time, it was a suggestion that we could do 2020 or 2022. And in the end, we finally agreed at the council meeting on the 5th of February 2017 that we would do Eurovox 2020, and I would take this on as part of my chairmanship. The first planning meeting took place on the 17th of February 2018, and so began the long journey towards Eurovox.
The first thing we had to do was to find a venue. Heidi had settled on the idea of Edinburgh, and after much trawling around the internet, found Stuart's Melville College, which housed the wonderful Tom Fleming Centre. We both took a trip up to Edinburgh to meet the lovely centre manager, Chris Duffy. Chris showed us the amazing facilities on offer. It was just right, we had found our venue for Eurovox.
And so began the many planning meetings in Devizes at Penny Price Jones's house, in Tooting at the home of Nicola Jane Kemp, and my own house in January 2019. We put together a fantastic programme, from recitals and masterclasses with Roderick Williams, Cecilia McDowell, Scott Harrison, Martin Vacher, Mary King and Kim Chandler, international speakers and presentations with Sasha Weinhausen, Karen Brinson, Ineke van Doorn, Norma Enns and Barbara Hooster-Jukic, languages and communication with Margaret Bennett, Chris and Eileen Field, Andre Bjorn Robertson and Patricia Cachido, science and teaching with Ron Morris, Nick Gibbons, Ginevra Williams, Heather Nichol, David McCabe and the Chain Gang.
Alongside this, we received over 70 applications for lectures, workshops and posters. Singers for our Young Professionals programme were auditioned and chosen. Margaret Aronson and Joy Naylor were working hard on a teacher training course which would have preceded Eurovox. There was to be a traditional ceilidh, a concert of Scottish composers given by singers of the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland, and an opening ceremony with our honorary president, Mary King.
Our Scottish pod group, led by Kathleen McKellar Ferguson, was leading the way with local advertising and sponsorship ideas. The website was up and running with our webmaster Ian Anderson-Gray. Nicola Jane Kemp and Janet Shell were zooming ahead with online marketing and advertising. Bookings opened on the 1st of January and were coming in steadily.
I spent Valentine's Day in February meeting our European colleagues in Edinburgh. By that time, the coronavirus was taking hold in Europe, and the BBC had already reported on the cancellation of an international conference. I and the EVTA board initially dismissed the whispers of doubt which were already forming in our minds. But at the same time, Heidi had begun to experience sleepless nights over the spectre of COVID-19. European countries began shutting down, and the virus soon began to take hold in the UK. It was becoming very difficult to promote the conference.
And so it was, with heavy hearts, that we decided over the course of a weekend in mid-March that our conference that we'd spent so long planning and looking forward to had to be cancelled. The decision was heartbreaking for us all. There were key speakers to be informed, expenses to be paid, booking fees to be returned, the recital and ceilidh band to be laid off, and all the additional papers, posters and young professional singers to be disappointed. And worst and saddest of all, just as we were setting out on this daunting journey, our dear AOTOS Honorary Life Member and EVTA representative, Paul Deegan, tragically died of the coronavirus in Dublin.
Paul meant so much to us all, and we will miss him terribly. He inspired us to take on Eurovox and was a great support throughout.
We've decided to bring you a snapshot of what would have been, and we are very grateful to the presenters who have agreed to film part of their presentations for this purpose.
We are also releasing an audio recording of a presentation made by Paul at the summer conference of 2015, entitled Kennst du das Land? We are most grateful to Sue Anderson, Sid Winter, Zoe Turner, and Charlotte Newstead for allowing us to use this recording.
Huge thanks must go to the whole AOTOS Council, the Eurovox subcommittee team, to the on-ground team in Scotland, to Susan Yarnell, Kristen Bjornheim, Claudia Phillips, and the EVTA board, to our understanding speakers and lecturers, to the Tom Fleming Centre at Stuart's Melville College and its kind and accommodating arts manager, Chris Duffy, to Nicola Jane Kemp, Penny Price Jones, and Jan Spooner Swaby, and to our patient treasurer, Stephanie Blake, who is still picking up the pieces.
And lastly, grateful thanks to our kind delegates and members, whose generous contribution towards our costs have almost reached £2,000. The loss would have been much greater without your help. This was the Eurovox that never happened, but the journey has been worth it. We hope you enjoy these presentations, and in the words of our conference title, we trust that eventually we can let the world in every corner sing, together again and in person.
Thank you.
Thank you.